Smartphones market these days is a hell of a lot of wonderful devices, some boast with stylus, others are proud of an awesome firmware or a performance for a decent price. Companies should really try hard to launch a badass flagship that will seduce a customer. Take for example Meizu Pro 7 and Meizu Pro 7 Plus. Wonderful concept, but people didn't give it a way to survive, cause only a couple managed to taste completely its double screen. Overall, as the popular novel says, it's hard to be a god as well as to become a leader on the market. Nevertheless, Vivo decided they have got to set their view of the ideal smartphone and claim the crown of the best tech company. Welcome to Tech Fellas, my name is Bogdan. Today we speak about Vivo NEX 3. I will tell you whether the club of the best of the best of the best got a place for that guy, or this door is already closed. The first goes the outer look. Here's my huge respect to designers of the company. I cannot and I won't deny that I'm in love with its body. The frame is metal, front and back are not only made of glass. Moreover, if the back is simply rounded to the frame, the bend in the front is something nakedly outstanding. Is smartphone slippery? The hell it is. This is why BBK Electronics put a branded grabby case in the box together with the phone. High 5 to 1 with the sticky hands and 3000 confidence in their hold. We are gladly using that case, but completely sacrificing the view of the camera set as well as the fancy half bluish half violet gradient on the back. Yeah, we've seen such pattern 1000 times, but here's why I'm loving it. It just feels to be made with passion and taste. It's like this phone's been through hundreds of samples and variations before getting to its final form. I'd say this is a gimmick that I'd gladly buy into. But further, I'm not gonna be so easygoing, such praising concerns only its design and the body look. Let's move on. What else surprised me throughout the phone is the set of unusual power and volume buttons. In fact, there are no buttons at all. These are clever sensors in here that work in a pair with TouchSense micro engine and understand tapping and pushing. Long story short, you just hit the areas on the body and smartphone recalls with gentle haptic response. I'm feeling the vibes of Google Pixel and iPhones, and I like it. Your brain doesn't lie saying that there is no separate island for a fingerprint reader on the back. Why? The only answer in 2019 is that it's hidden under the screen. As for the speed in general, it is fast. As for in-screen sensors, it's really fast. Vivo knows how not to let us down in their profile area. The phone also does face reading via the pop-up camera, but here's some funny fact. It will start doing something only after you fail to scan your finger 3 times in a row. I understand that it saves the sliding camera mechanism, but BBK, you could give people at least some choice in settings. Speaking of the devil, as you can see the phone has no notches, due dots or other eye-punching black areas, so Vivo obviously decided to meet some flagship standards of 2019 with installing the pop-up camera. Ending up about the body with a bunch of facts and features. The NFC out of the box isn't here. Hooray! Mini jack also isn't left behind in flagship of 2019. There's no winking LED when you play some music like in Xiaomi Mi 9 Lite, however BBK's creature will gladly hang around with their own vision of picture and sound. So by far, these were only nice and very nice news. There's finally something to put claims on. The first one is that the phone hasn't got a wireless charging. Next goes the fact that IP certification didn't leave any marks here, so unfortunately the Aquaman and SpongeBob won't use NEX 3 in the pineapple under the sea. I think I've missed one layer that goes before the insides. The phone's got 6.89 inches P-OLED screen with 1080 by 2256 resolution. Looking on the picture, I must say that it's clear, no graining, no distortions. Of course, colors are saturated as it must be eventually. Just in case if you want to keep your eyes in the realm of natural gamma, you can try out the color adjustment in system settings. What else? It's hard to get your eyes away from the shape of the screen. Overall, if Vivo wanted to get a striking effect with its rounded frames, they did it with a capital A for awesome. This screen has got its own name, Waterfall Full View. There's only one flaw in this curvy shape, linear white spots or light bluish in colors, depending on what angle you're looking at the edge. But don't worry, you can live up with it. After Samsung phones and OnePlus 7 Pro, this effect here is not eating your eyes. Moreover, it happens only with a bright image on the screen, and you will easily get used to it and completely forget it in a couple of days. Among the load and interesting features, this screen supports always on display. Big fan, nice to meet it here. Firmware has all that is needed for setting the best picture or animation for you on the lock screen. And the answer to one of the most demanding questions from people, DC dimming, is brought in here as well. Now about the sound, speakers in the device unfortunately cannot boast with anything supernatural in this regard. The front-facing one doesn't sing along with the bottom one, at least that multimedia speaker is truly loud, but still the melody level is average. The situation with headphone jack is more complicated, although quite interesting as for our audiophiles. On the one hand, the device has an audio chip AK4377 AECB. By the standards of the sound in smartphones, this is not the event of the year, but anyway, using this chip in a mobile phone makes it remarkable against other competing models. On the other hand, you must understand that this is not a top-level dock, therefore Vivo NEX 3 cannot compete with some hi-fi players by default. So that was a bulky intro, now the portion of details. Device sounds actually pretty well. Once again, we are speaking about smartphone with audio chip, not the audio player. There's no rubbish in the sound, it's clear and pleasant to listen. I'd call the sound quite light and dreamed about more bass that you can adjust in a good equalizer. It is also powerful in terms of volume. I'd say the device turned out to be for true melomaniacs, but truly not for audiophiles. Let me show you some photos. We'll start with 16 megapixels front camera. In a good light conditions, this photo gun takes very beautiful shots in many positions. I'm not a selfie blogger, and so I don't keep my personal top of selfie phones, but in this way the pics in most cases are encouraging to start some Instagram career. The main camera set consists of wide-angle 64 megapixel module from Samsung with f1.8 aperture, 13 megapixel ultra-wide angle one with f2.2 aperture and 13 megapixel telephoto with f2.48. So in the end, smartphone shoots simple wide-angle photos that sometimes we call classic photos, also zoom in pictures and captures everything in the wide angle. This obvious stuff is brought to you by my will to extend these visuals and show you as many photos as possible. My personal opinion is that level of shooting is not bad if you don't forget to turn HDR on when it's needed and drag the exposure slider. Judging the photos, I was more than satisfied with their quality. For example, the close-ups come out very decent here. In daylight, cameras don't bring dirt and you can feel kinda like a professional photographer that creates masterpieces. Night mode didn't awake such emotions as standard modes. It is here and that's wonderful already. It doesn't make perfect night pictures, so I hope that further software updates will make some improvements. Video can be taken in 4K and in general it's not bad. Honestly, I enjoyed the outcome quality, but I cannot understand why the company brought stabilization only to 1080p clips. Any chances it will be updated in the future? No idea, but let's get into the hardware. Inside, the big boss is Snapdragon 855 Plus. Device has 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. With such ARMs, it is a small wonder that the system works lightning fast. We faced no lags in any software products. Games World of Tanks Blitz and PUBG Mobile run like some light games on a powerful PC. Even on maximum graphics, the picture doesn't slow down. General software works smoothly and you may have no doubts in its efficiency. Benchmark tests know how to show performance in numbers, which I gladly post on your screen. We all know that powerful hardware comes with significant heating. Device of course tends to rise in temperature, but Chinese engineers prevented the outcomes and installed a vapor chamber inside. It keeps the working temperatures of hardware on the common level and helps in cooling when you leave the phone to rest after hours of rough gaming. It may also save a year or two for the battery, that is 4500 mAh here. The phone lasts for 2 days on medium usage loads. Eager gamers will need to charge it a couple of times in a day, when just active users of NEX will be delighted with its solid 1 day of a battery life. Summarizing the stuff, does Vivo NEX 3 feels imbalanced? Actually, no. But is it nice and enjoyable indeed? Yeah, alas, the expansion of the club of the best of the best of the best smartphones is cancelled. But this smartphone certainly took its place in the range of devices that are worth its money and can hook you up not only with a beautiful body, but also with subtle details. All I need to say in the end is if your wallet has a couple of spare pockets with cash, don't be afraid to spend it on that device. We liked it and ready to share some links to internet stores where you can buy Vivo NEX 3. And if you like this video, then why not to support our channel by subscribing to it, hitting the like button and ringing the bell to stay tuned for more cool content. My thanks for watching and cheers! The device has an audio chip AK4377AECB, 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 AK4377AECB.